Welcome back to News Geelong, and the highlight you've been waiting for, of course, is our chat to Chris Scott, the Cats coach. We were down at Simmons Stadium to fire a few more questions, and we open with this week's real blockbuster against Hawthorn, and Chris is not treating it exactly like another game.
No, it's not. No, I mean, it's 1v2, so that's the most important thing. But I think the supporters love the theatre, but we love it as well. I mean, we've got bigger fish to fry than worrying about history and streaks and all those sort of things. It's really important in the context of our season, Hawthorn's as well, probably. So that's our main focus. But no, we're not immune to the theatre and the atmosphere that will be there on Saturday night. Not in our minds. No. We treat every game in isolation. We think we're a different team to 2012, and we're certainly a different team to 2008. And Hawthorn are as well. We play differently. I think Hawthorn played differently as well. We think they're an extremely talented side, and they're going to be hard to beat. So, we've been slowly improving parts of our game, and this is another step we need to take. Well, add Josh Walker to that mix as well. All three of them played well at VFL level on the weekend, so they're going to be in the frame. Dawson Simpson we thought was good for us as well, so we haven't made those decisions yet, but fortunately we're in the position now where we can choose. We've been a little bit limited in our options, and when Hamish comes back hopefully in a few weeks, then we're going to have even more options, so it's more difficult than it was a month ago. Yeah, fit. Yeah. So they both had quite similar back injuries, actually, short-term things that prevented them from playing in the Brisbane game, but were both good enough to play at VFL level and perform pretty well. So we need to assess how they pulled up from that game and then make an informed decision based on what we need against Hawthorn and what different attributes those guys bring to the game. Yeah, it'll be hard. Yeah, it'll be very hard. He was very impressive again, and we are at the point with the available personnel that there are some very good Geelong players playing in our VFL team. So we'd like to think that Billy will force his way into our team at some stage, but that's far from a given this week. Yeah, it does, but in some ways the best thing to do when analysing the opposition is listen to the things that they say about themselves. And Alice has been pretty open with the fact that they think they're more flexible, they have more goal kickers, less reliance on Franklin. Roughhead's obviously playing very well as a key forward, but the combination of Roughhead, Franklin, Gunston, Hale is a pretty daunting one. Very hard to predict how they're going to line up at any particular centre bounce, and they obviously see that as a strength, and it's going to be a challenge for us to combat. No, throw a blanket over Roughhead, Franklin, Hale, Gunston. No, well, you'd be crazy to single any one of them out, because if you put too much work into one, the others get you, and obviously that's what they've been working towards. And I don't want to heap too much praise on them, but it's probably a pretty good model. Yeah, we are. Yeah. Kind of planning for him to be back and hoping he's not. Yeah, he's a great player. It appears that he's been limited with injury in the previous few years and is now back to his best. So yeah, we're going to have to put a bit of work into him. He's an important player for them. Oh yeah, the belief we got from Saturday night's game was probably offset somewhat by the loss of belief after the Brisbane debacle. We were embarrassed by that. We responded well, but good teams don't respond well for 1 week. They make permanent changes, and the defensive part of our game is important, but Hawthorn present different challenges to the challenges that Fremantle presented. So we're going to have to adapt to that, and defence is a priority in the game for both teams, I would have thought, because given their way, Hawthorn and Geelong can attack pretty well. I hope not. That's not ideal. But if you look at the previous encounters between Hawthorn and Geelong, one team or the other has had the ascendancy for specific parts of the game. Last time we were 5 goals down pretty early, I think, and then we're able to dominate the game in the second half. And the round 15 game, I think it was, the year before, round 19, was as an amazing game of football as you'll ever see. So if it follows that template, then I think there will be periods of heavy scoring from either side, but that's not the way we're going to plan going into the game. Yeah, he got an unfortunate knock to his cheekbone. it's it's significant enough that he needed surgery to have a plate in there, but only your 2 to 3 week recovery hopefully. So disappointing for Jackson because he was right on the fringe of our best 22 as well, but hopefully it's only a short-term thing and he'll come back and look to force his way in in a month or so. Oh, well, they think it was extremely minor at this stage. It was a cork at first. So with those sort of things, especially at VFL level when winning's not necessarily our priority, it certainly doesn't take precedence over managing our players. We took the conservative route there, and we still need to establish whether the cork's the only damage within the hamstring, but at this stage there's a very good chance he'll be available for this week. He's around about the mark, it's got to the stage now where the 12 weeks is almost up, and we've just got to make decisions about the best way to bring him back into the AFL program, whether that's a little bit of match fitness at VFL level or another week or two of solid training in our program. So it's exciting to have him back. We'd like to have him back this week. I mean, we'd like to have him back a month ago, but we'll err on the side of caution with Trav. No, he was just ill. Yeah, he was just ill. So 4 hours after the game, he was fine.
Well, thanks again for that update, Scotty. And right now, it's time for us to go back to the studio and Graham Rawlins.
Thanks, Ian. See you next week in your multi-skilled capacity here on News Geelong. Now, if you're on the punt tomorrow at Flemington, Uncle Jim suggests race 5, horse number 10, Dash for Viz. That's V-I-Z. So have a think about Uncle Jim's tips. And thank you for joining us tonight. We look forward to your continued support as we progress into the future. Tune in tomorrow morning, same channel at 8 a.m. for the Geelong and District Football League netball program. The ladies are always informative and present the most up-to-date and sometimes controversial comments. Don't we, Donna? And then it's time for the big boys and the GDFL footy show with Digital Dick appearing following good care from his doctor this week. Doctor, you aren't gonna make it. And of course, the little insect from the duck ponds, Grubbycations, whose makeup is done each week, compliments of Miss Polly Filler. It is compulsory viewing, so be there. And of course, in the Geelong and District Football League tomorrow, on 94.7 FM here in Geelong and surrounding districts, the match of the day will be between North Geelong, that's Digital Dick's team, and Werribee Centrals, that's Little Grubbycations team. So expect the Dick and Grubby flare up at half time over who's going to eat the sponge. Someone may wear it. To South Barwon Football Club co-coach Casey Tatungi, who suffered a broken back and spinal injuries, totally accidentally, in a round of GFL football recently and up in the spinal unit of the Austin Hospital. May we wish you all the very best, and our thoughts are with you as you continue to maintain a positive and true Swans fighting spirit in your road to recovery. And remember, Casey, to take your time and smell the flowers. Stay tuned for Daryl and the boys on the local footy show, and maybe expect some shenanigans coming from them. And this week, down here in the local district of Geelong, Football and Netball Geelong have got a bye across the Geelong Football League and the Bellarine Football League, except for one game, and that's being played out at St Albans versus St Mary's at the St Albans Recreation Reserve. So we look forward to that tomorrow. On behalf of the News Geelong team, enjoy your week, stay safe, and a very good night.